this morning. It's going to be just a quick devotion this morning. I've got another appointment at 8 o'clock. And I'm running late as it's become more and more a reality for me in the mornings. But anyways, I was born to be a pessimist. My blood type is B positive. No, B negative. If you have B positive, that means you're born to be an optimist, I guess. So my boss is going to fire the employee with the worst posture. I have a hunch that it might be me. Okay. Well, good morning. We have been looking at the book of Hebrews, and all the way through it, we see that God loved us enough to send the very best. Yesterday, we talked about how that Jesus is better than Moses. He is better than the law. That Moses and the law are only a shadow of the righteousness that Jesus fulfills in himself. And I jumped the gun a little bit, read the part about the better covenant. He's given us a better covenant, a better agreement. Remember the old covenant that he made with Israel, that they would be his people, and that he would bless those that bless them and curse those that curse them. That was all outward. But the covenant that God made with the church, with the people that trust in him today, it promises a whole different reality and life within. I'm going to read from chapter 8, verse 8. For he finds fault with them when he says, Behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will establish a new covenant with the house of Israel and the house of Judah, not like the covenant I made with their fathers on the day I took them by the hand to bring them out of the land of Egypt. For they did not continue in my covenant, and so I showed no concern for them, declares the Lord. For this covenant that I will make with the house of Israel after those days, declares the Lord, I will put my laws in their minds and write them on their hearts, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. And they shall not teach each one his neighbor and each one his brother, saying, Know the Lord, for they shall know me, from the least of them to the greatest. And I will be merciful toward their iniquities, and I will remember their sins no more. Yeah, that's a covenant that's worth making. Remember their sins no more. Remember the old covenant. They had to, the priest had to repeatedly bring sacrifices for sin over and over again. And we'll see that it gave us another privilege that is awesome. And that is we'll talk about that tomorrow. I just want to remind you that the covenant, the agreement, the arrangement that God has made for us and for the house of Israel, as well as the church, is that he changes us from the inside out. There's a newness of life that he places within. For it is God that worketh in you both to will and to do of his good pleasure. One of the surest signs that you have embraced and that you're a part of the new covenant in Christ is that you have a desire within to do what is right before God. And that inner working of the Spirit is a part of the new agreement. And apart from it, we would be no different than those who had to repeatedly bring offerings and sacrifices before God through the high priest, because only the high priest once a year could really enter into the presence of his glory. Well, that's it for today. But anyhow, that was quick. I didn't give it as much thought as I'd like to have. But read through Hebrews chapter 8 and give thanks to God for the covenant that God has called us into. Father, man, we have no reason to be negative, even if our blood type is, when we look at what you've given to us in the new covenant through the new high priest, the perfect high priest. Lord, thank you for just demonstrating your love toward us in such a way. Now give us that awareness, and I pray that newness of spirit within us would spur us on and would motivate us and would direct us and would just be in control of our lives today, in Jesus' name.